Okay, time for a new video, and whether you are somebody new to my channel or you are returning to my channel to watch this video, it is greatly appreciated. As always, I'm filming this video in one go, so apologies if I stumble over my words moving forwards, and also if the quality of this video is not too great either, if there's any lag, anything like that at all. Sadly, it cannot be helped, and hopefully it isn't much of an issue for you. This is yet another Eurovision 2024 related video here on my channel, and another installment in my sporadic series titled What We Know So Far, where I go through pretty much everything we as Eurovision fans know so far about the upcoming edition of the ESC, which next year will take place in Malmö in Sweden, at the Malmö Arena for a second time after the 2013 contest was staged there too, and for the third time in total in that particular city. I have information in front of me to make sure I don't forget anything too important. As always, you're welcome to let me know your thoughts on anything I discussed today by leaving a comment. Feel free to leave a like, share the video, all of that good stuff. And as always, there are links in the description to my other social media pages. Check them out if you so wish. So, we know the dates of the contest: Tuesday the 7th, Thursday the 9th, Saturday the 11th of May. We know the venue, we know the slogan, United by Music, the same as the Liverpool staged contest earlier this year, and that is going to be the slogan for every contest moving forwards. Make of that what you will. It doesn't really play any part on the contest whatsoever. As for the participants list, we now have it at last. It's either going to be 37 or 38. Luxembourg are returning for the first time since 1993. Fantastic, more on them later. Romania may or may not take part. It's mainly money concerns regarding their participation next year or not. North Macedonia won't be back for what I feel is a pretty cruddy reason. The broadcaster is celebrating several anniversaries to do with radio and television in their own country. Okay, fair enough. Why would you not celebrate by taking part in the biggest bash of all, I ask myself. Anyway, no North Macedonia, no Bulgaria coming back, despite several hints on social media. And of course Andorra, Monaco, Bosnia, the usual suspects, also not taking part. Next year, or rather the year after next year, 2025, we may see a lot of returning countries. Monaco might well rejoin the fun, and it's also possible Kosovo will debut. Not long ago, they had their first version of Fick, and I did hear the winner, can't remember much about it, but it was a sort of testing the waters scenario for potentially entering the ESC sooner rather than later. We've also found out very recently the location of the Eurovision Village, which is going to be Folkets Park. There's also going to be a Eurovision Street, and they are asking for volunteers to help out at these locations. So if you're in Sweden next May and you feel like helping out a little bit, they're looking for volunteers. In terms of the semi-final allocation draw, that's going to take place, it says here, potentially on January the 30th at some location in Malmö. That's when we'll find out which countries in which semi-final and which countries that are automatic finalists, which semi-finals they'll vote in. We know how it all works. The voting system may change, and we may be finding out details about this next month. However, the rules of the contest are already out, and there were no notable changes in that book of rules. So make of that what you will. Anyway, let's go through the participants. Albania, Fick starts soon. On December the 19th. It will be the 62nd edition of it. There are 3 semi-finals this time, the finals on December the 22nd. Several notable acts have withdrawn for reasons I'm not entirely sure, but Casey Tola, the 09 representative, gone. Samantha Caravella, gone, and Sadi Strugash, also gone. They've been replaced. There are a few familiar names here. Besa Krasniqi, Elsa Lilla is back with a song she's written herself, Mars. She won the festival last December. I believe this would be a 4th time, I think, if she wins it again. This has been going for a long, long time, you know, it's Fick 62, so it's almost as old as Eurovision itself. But she's such a big name. She's got a cracking voice. I wouldn't be surprised if her song is very similar to the entry she had last year. She might already have one hand on the Fick trophy coming up soon. And we've also got the Peter Pan Quartet, Tiri Jochi, Troy Band, and so on. And of course we have to bear in mind that whichever song comes out on top will be revamped prior to May. It says that the jury will select the winner, but the public will select the Albanian representative. And I believe that we won't get the songs until the nights of the festival itself. So bear that in mind. I could be wrong, but I did read that somewhere. As for Armenia, no details yet. Australia, they're back. Clearly they've signed some sort of new contract with the EBU, and SVT, the Swedish broadcaster, said, yes, we'll have you involved. I think they're going to go internal. I wouldn't be surprised if it's somebody like Voyager, who were internally selected for this year. I wouldn't be surprised if SBS decide to go down the same route and pick somebody who's tried previously to represent Australia, which means it might well be Jaguar Jones's time. We'll see. Austria, apparently we're getting the artist this month, and the song at some point later on down the line. Azerbaijan, they'll leave it until the last possible moment. Belgium, internal selection. We've known the singer for ages. Thomas Mustin, stage name Musty. 2 albums. He's a judge on Drag Race Belgique. He's also done a bit of theatre, I believe. His song is coming in February. Croatia, likely to be February the 24th, but there could be a semi-final for Dora 2024. And Let 3 are apparently trying again, so you know what's probably going to happen if indeed they are involved. A record number of entries were received by the broadcaster, 203, which is fantastic. 24 entries plus 4 backups will be selected by an expert committee, and apparently we're getting the details this month. So there's not that long to go until we find out some more information from Croatia. As for Cyprus, we've known the singer for ages, Cilia Kapsis, and the song is likely to be a pretty slick pop effort. Dimitris Kontopoulos is the writer of it. Cilia is 17 from Sydney, Australia. She's appeared on Nickelodeon, she's released a couple of singles, and I think this is going to be, like I just said, a really slick pop effort, something that Cyprus are becoming very, very well known for now. As for Czechia, well, they had a national final which was broadcast from this sort of club in Prague about a week ago, and there was an online vote where you could vote via the Eurovision app, and it was a 75%, 25% split. I think that's what it was supposed to be, although it doesn't look that way. I've no idea what happened. Anyway, the results were announced this morning, a Wednesday morning as I'm recording this. How bizarre. How bizarre. Not exactly prime time, but there we are. I did watch most of the national final because it was streamed on the Eurovision YouTube channel. A lot of the performances weren't great, and I think that's to do with the audio from the venue myself. Some of the performances were sloppy. Anyway, the Czech vote saw Ellie very comfortably come out on top. It says here that MIDI received the least amount of votes in the Czech vote, and yet the weighted amount of points was actually the second highest. Am I missing something here? I've no idea what the hell is going on here. Anyway, that's quite surprising if that's the case. I haven't even really looked at these results in much depth. But Ellie won the Czech vote convincingly. But when it came to the international vote, it was a different story. MIDI apparently coming last again here. I don't even know. Anyway, Pedestal is the name of the Czechia song for 2024. Aiko is the performer. She has won the selection really quite convincingly, and the live performance was not great of that song. It really wasn't. They were going for some sort of sexy thing, and it really didn't work terribly well. The vocals were a bit all over the place, but the studio cut I like. And I can't say I'm surprised that this song has come out on top. I think people jumped the gun. Red Flag Parade is winning. MIDI, congratulations. No, don't jump the gun. Instead, Aiko is going to Malmö. It's a good song, but the live performance needs to be a hell of a lot better. Thankfully, there's a lot of time before she's actually in the Malmö Arena doing her stuff. As for Denmark, 17th of February for DMGP. We do not know too much so far. The venue for this event is much smaller than what we've had in previous years. We also know that the lineup includes somebody who's performed for Denmark before. Could it be Emily de Forest? I doubt it. Something tells me it could be Brink. because he's tried before after doing Eurovision in '09. It could be one of the Olsen brothers. I wouldn't be surprised by that either. But yes, we're going to find out the artists in January, and they'll be presented through a live performance on the 10th of February, 1 week before the actual show itself. And performers can have a live orchestra if necessary. More details are online, of course. As for Estonia, the songs are out. The 17th of February also for the final of Eesti Laul. Now, Olli would appear to be the favourite. He was the runner-up earlier this year behind Alika. His song is called My Friend. It's another rocky effort. It's pretty good. But will it be Nendes Narkutikumides Teteia Mekul Midagi, which comes out on top? That song is seemingly a lot more popular in Estonia than Olli's entry. So do not be surprised if Olli is the bridesmaid and not the bride again, if you see what I mean. What I will say is that neither of those two songs is my personal favourite. My personal favourite is Serotonin by Annette Weikmar, but I have accepted that that's probably not going to come close at all. Of course, we have automatic finalists as well, and I would like to know who thought those 5 were the best 5. Because they're not. But anyway, Eesti Laul, it all gets going on January the 20th for that 15-song semi-final. It could be quite ruthless. Anyway, Finland, 10th of February for UMK. All eyes on what Finland will do following up from UMK. The songs will be released one a day from the 11th to the 19th of January, and the final will be at the Nokia Arena in Tampere, hosted by 3 individuals, including Benjamin, who, of course, tried to represent Finland early this year, and you have to say, flopped quite a bit. Anyway, we move on to France. We know the singer, we know the song. It was out of the blue, but Slimane, who is a big name, massively successful, he will be singing his ballad, Mon Amour, My Love. It's very heartfelt, very touching, builds up quite nicely, but will this be more of a jury darling than a public favourite? It's very possible. Like with that song in Estonia, which has the long title, that screams to me, public favourite, jury not liking it at all. We'll just have to wait and see. As for Georgia, we know nothing. Germany, they are having a national final, Das Deutsche Finale. It's going to be on February the 16th. I believe Conchita Wurst is helping out. And it says that 572 songs were submitted. These were narrowed down a few weeks ago to 32, and they'll all be assessed, or they have been assessed, and there will be a separate competition to determine an additional finalist, Ik wil zum ESC, with 15 contestants. So there we go. And in fact, we know the 15 contestants because they're right in front of me, although they will be doing covers. So there you go. Paul, Christos, Sophie. I have no idea what the hell Germany are doing with this. But, you know, you do you, Deutschland. You do do. I don't know what's going on there. Anyway, Greece. We know the singer. It's Marina Satti, who seems really cool. She's 36. I can't believe that. She looks at least 10 years younger. She's from Athens. She's released 1 album, several singles. I'm expecting something very striking, very vibrant, very sort of in your face, but not in a bad way. We'll be getting that song in due course. Apparently she's rejected a whole bunch of songs that have come her way, which begs the question, write it yourself. As for Iceland, now they could withdraw because they're not happy about Israel's participation. And all I can say about this is, if they withdraw, it's very disappointing. But if they do withdraw, other countries may follow. Anyway, Songvakeppnin is scheduled for March the 2nd. There's 2 semi-finals and 118 entries were received. And we'll find out more details soon. As for Ireland, they're probably still sitting around a table somewhere in Dublin, wondering what the hell they're playing at. But I believe it is going to be part of the Late Late Show again. Probably about 6 acts involved. More details soon. Israel, what are they doing? What are they doing? Well, they are having their selection process, Hakok Haba, and it's already started. Very few people are talking about this. I can understand the reasons as to why, but as I've already said on my channel, and this is the only time I'm really going to say this again, it's about the music for me. That's all it's ever about on this channel. Politics, out the door, that's a whole different story. But anyway, I'm focusing on the music, and Israel's selection is going on, and obviously many names are involved. It's a long-winded process. We won't know more for a while yet. As for Italy, we know the lineup for Sanremo. There's a video on my channel reacting to the lineup. Big names are involved. Annalisa, yes. Is it time for a woman for Italy? I'm thinking so. Alessandra Amoroso, huge name. Angelina Mango, big rising star. Diodato, fai rumor. Yes, he's back. Fiorella Manoia, former runner-up. Emma, former representative. Francesco Renga, former winner. Neck, former runner-up. Il Volo, former winner. Mahmoud, twice a winner. Ricchi e Poveri, they were there in the 70s doing it. The Colours, huge band, had a massive song this year in Italy. Wow, it's a stacked lineup. We'll be getting the songs fairly soon, I would assume. But yes, Italy are coming for the win again, I'll tell you that much. As for Latvia, God help them. Supernova will be in February, and 108 entries were received, and you know Marcus Riva is among them. Lithuania, at some point in mid-February, Eurovision LT will take place. The Roop have submitted a song, so we know who's representing Lithuania next year. Andrius Pojavis from 2013 is also involved, as is a Swedish personality from Lithuania, Ben Mitkus. So his online following, which has had millions of views, yeah, watch out for him. Watch out for him. But the Roop will probably win by an absolute mile. The songs will be decided upon any time now, and at least 20 will be selected. They'll be informed of this by December the 18th. So hopefully the Roop, you know, they've got their phones on. Anyway, we move on to Luxembourg. We know the lineup of the Luxembourg Song Contest. The songs will be released in due course. Child, I believe it's pronounced, he's involved. He was actually on the wishlist post on the joint Instagram page. 15-year-old Naomi Aye, who has a video on YouTube of her doing a cover of Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen, which has 20 million views, I'll have you know. She's involved, as are a whole bunch of other people, but I would say it's one of those two names I just said who are going to come out on top. Very exciting times for Luxembourg. That's on January the 27th. Malta. Well, I mean, that smell is mould, because that's what this national final is. Mouldy. We've had the semi-finals, the final is next month. We're not even getting live performance, we're getting ad hoc music videos. No song from the third semi-final even qualified. What an absolute load of trash. Matt Black is probably going to win this with a song written by Copacabana himself, Sean Banan, co-written by him at the very least. Denise is there with Mara. I mean, that should do pretty well. Ryan Healy is there with his cheese-tastic effort, although he does sing it quite well. Hayley should not be underrated. I'm glad she's made the final 12. And we will find out the representative next month. But, my God, it doesn't look great for Malta. I'll be honest, it's not a great batch. As for Moldova, who the hell knows? Just call up Stop Shistub again for Etapa Națională, which will take place on February the 17th. And the received entries will be assessed between the 22nd and 29th of December this year, so we may well know the songs very soon, and I wonder if that Sasha guy will be involved again. I mean, what the hell is that about? Anyway, Netherlands, it's Joost Klein, and his song will be in Dutch. He's a YouTuber, I think he's in his 20s, he's co-written his song. He was born in 1997 in Leeuwarden, which I'm probably mispronouncing. He was a rumoured name. I think this is going to be Karia on ADHD. I'm expecting a song that's a little... I mean, he's not Karia. There have been comparisons. But I'm expecting something in that vein, but ramped up a notch. I could be wrong. We wait and see. I mean, this is either going to go well, or it's going to be a disaster for the ages. I do not see any in between here. And I've seen a few other people say that as well. As for Norway, MGP, 3rd of February, and there are 3 semi-finals. The songs may already be out, because for the first time, They could be released, I think, online before MGP even takes place or something like that. Anyway, Trondheim will stage the final. 6 songs in each semi-final, 3 will progress. I don't think there's automatic qualifiers, so there we go. It'll be interesting to see if there are any returning names. Will Ulrike be back? I don't think she will be this time. But Kano are apparently involved, so I've read. So make of that what you will. Poland, I don't really know what they're doing, but we'll find out soon. Portugal, March for Festival de Canção. We know the lineup of songwriters, and many of them will have written their own songs, so they will be the performers too. So we've got Noble, who when I put his name on Instagram, loads of people said that they were, pretty much big fans of him. Noble this, Noble that. So clearly he's a bit of a heartthrob figure. We've got Iolanda, Bispo, Silk Nobre. Yes, loads of names, lovely stuff. San Marino, 24th of February for their national final. There's been auditions. Apparently AI is involved. What an absolute load of trash that is all about. It can't go to Eurovision anyway, because I believe they've banned AI. There were 300 or so submissions from 22 countries, and you just know it's going to be joyous seeing those auditions online. As for Serbia, March the 2nd for their national final, Pesma za Eurovision 24. I think Filip Balosh, who was involved earlier this year, he's trying again. March the 2nd for the final. Do we know any other details? Not really. Breskvica, Maja Nikolic, and several others are rumoured to be applying to take part. I imagine by now they'll have found out whether they're involved or not, but who knows. As for Slovenia, yesterday, as I'm recording this video you're watching now, we found out Raven, twice a runner-up and once third place, I think, in the Slovenian national final. She's been internally selected. Her real name is Sara. Her song is in the Slovenian language. It's called Veronica. It's about somebody who really existed years ago. People are saying it's about witches and everything. We'll wait and see. Raven's songs in EMA in the past, I've not been a huge lover of, but she is a sort of opera singer. So will we get something classical? Maybe. It could be really fantastic. As for Spain, we're getting the Spanish songs tomorrow. The song titles leaked about a week or two ago. We've got Blah 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 by Miss Cafeina, Prisionero by Kikenitha, Here to Stay by Sofia Cole. We're getting Caliente by Jorge Gonzalez. Now, based on name alone, Angie Fernandez, Maria Pelé, Sofia Cole, and possibly, I think the song in Catalan could do very well. That's by Roger Padros. I think it could be one of those names, but that's based on a gut feeling more than anything else. We will find out the songs, I believe, tomorrow, which means there'll be a video reacting to snippets of those tracks. As for Sweden, we know the Melfest lineup. It starts on February the 3rd, the finals on March the 9th. It's a stacked list. We know who's in each heat, so Lisa Ajax, Samir and Victor smash into pieces in Heat 1, which is in Malmö. Heat 2, Fröken Snusk, Liamu, Maria Sur. Heat 3, Clara Klingenström, Cassiopeia. Heat 4, Danny Saucedo and Dotter. And in Heat 5, Medina and Marcus San Martinus. One of those names, almost certainly I would say, probably going to win Melfest. We will find out the songs obviously each week of the contest itself, and then we'll have the finalists and people will wet themselves over the winner. As for Switzerland, we're getting details in March. Ukraine, there is a wildcard vote which I believe is open now, and one song will go through from that wildcard vote on December the 29th, joining the likes of Melovin, Yaktak, Yagodi, Nazva, and Aliona and Jerry Hale. And those songs will be out in due course. Right now, I would say the Jerry Hale duo, that's probably the one to beat, but again, that's based on a gut feeling. We know that Ukraine could turn up on stage, fart for 3 minutes, and finish in the top 10. So, I'm sure whatever they've got lined up, it's probably really good stuff that people are going to love. As for the UK, we know nothing, but I believe the BBC already have a name selected. Years and years have been rumoured. Personally, I'd rather have somebody else. But there we are. Rina Sawayama is probably right there. It could be a member of Little Mix. I've seen that rumoured. It could be somebody completely unknown. Possibly. It could be another Molly Smitten Downs situation. But we will find out, obviously, at some point very soon. There's not really much else to add. That's pretty much all we know so far about Eurovision 2024. I'm sure I'm missing out plenty of details, but they're all online anyway. Let me know your thoughts about anything I've discussed today. I'm interested to know. A big ramble, I apologise for that, but I did want to film this fairly quickly. And I'll be back probably with a reaction to this Spanish lineup. Yes, indeed. Until then, take care of yourselves. Apologies if the quality wasn't that great, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.